kind of epithelial cells, and that follicle is called as primordial follicle. You will see when you cut the ovary, you see many such primordial follicles waiting, pratiksha mein hai, whether they go and develop as a primary follicle. So these primary follicle is the next stage to the primordial follicle, whereby you can see the size of the follicle is increased, the number of epithelial cells are increased, and it is transformed from primordial to primary. Now this is not, see again I repeat, this is not just a process whereby someone is going, walking and catching a train. कि आज एक स्टेप डाला, दो स्टेप डाला. The whole process is under the hormonal control, student. Because I have already told you the whole process is controlled by hypothalamo-hypophyseal gonadal axis. So it is the hypothalamus which is releasing gonadotropin releasing factor GnRH, which acts on the pituitary, so that pituitary releases FSH and LH, follicle stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone. They are gonadotropins. These eventually come via the bloodstream on the ovaries and act accordingly so that there is a proper growth of these follicles, or by which the folliculogenesis continues. So then slowly and eventually the number of epithelial cells keeps on increasing, and then they turn, these epithelial cells are called as granulosa cells. What are they called as? Granulosa cells. And these granulosa cells keeps on increasing so that primary follicles changes onto the secondary follicle. And granulosa cells increase so much to so extent that the follicle turns into two regions. Theca interna, that is a outer layer, and theca externa, internal layer. Then there is a still growth of these granulosa cells. These are the granulosa cells which are keep on growing, so that the size, shape and structure of the follicle also varies. And there appears a cavity. That cavity is called antrum. And antrum formation leads to this secondary follicle as preantral follicle. Still there is a growth of the granulosa cells. And there is preantral follicle changes into secondary or a Graafian follicle, which we call as a mature follicle, and then this is waiting for the process of ovulation, and if it is fully mature, then it will come out of the body of the ovary by an ovarian blush. How it takes place I will explain you, and then this particular follicle becomes empty. So these empty follicles immediately gets gathered by blood and some connective tissue, and then that becomes, if the female undergoes pregnancy, this follicle will turn into follicle of the pregnancy called corpus luteum, and if it undergoes menstruation, it becomes corpus hemorrhagic. So this corpus luteum is also equally important in maintaining pregnancy. And how does this process of ovulation takes place? It is not all that easy. It is not all that easy. Why? Because it takes minimum 48 hours to release the ovum. Ovum is a component structure, right? So the part at which ovum is there, in that ovary, that part will get bulged like this. It forms a cavity, and lot of blood cells, gathers there. So that we call a term blushing of the ovarian follicle, because there is a lot of redness, and then there is a rupture of the ovary, and that's why ladies say pet mein dukta hai us samay. The ovary gets ruptured and then ovum releases. And let me tell you, student, it is all under the control of hormones from the pituitary as well as hypothalamus.